welcome. And welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. If you're new, thank you. If you're a current subscriber or if you're back, also thank you. Of course, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, all of the things that help me get some traction in the algorithm, because isn't that just life, right? Algorithms. Anyway, I wanted to do this quick intro. I did not do this on the Scorpio video. That's okay. But I wanted to do this quick intro because it's 2023 and we are no longer going to assume that people know things without us actually telling people those things, right? And asking for what we want. So I do want you to subscribe to the channel. I want you to come back, press the notification thing, bell thing, so you know the videos are posted whenever they get posted. I would love that. Also, I do have an Etsy store. The link is below, because in true manifesting generator form, my soul cannot just have one thing to focus on. I have to have a bunch. So I do have that. I actually have 2 Etsy stores. One of them is on vacation for now. What else? I am working on getting personal readings back up and running since I've been back, but also just kind of trying to surrender to the flow of that. I mean, I know that'll come exactly when it's meant to. Was there anything else? On Instagram, I post daily, quickie energy reads, like, you know, tarot updates. I was posting those on YouTube, but like on YouTube Shorts, but there's like a 60-second limit to those, and they've just been longer than that. So my Instagram is going to be linked below as well, so check that out. What else? I thought that there was more, and now I'm like drawing a blank, because that's what happens when you are a little vulnerable, you know? I don't know. I guess I'm going to leave it there. If there is anything else, I'll mention it at the start of the video. Great. So, I usually do these in order, like both the zodiac and the human design profile readings, but I didn't really want to decide what the order was this time, so I put everything in this bowl. So I wrote down all of the zodiac signs, all of the human design profile numbers, put them in this bowl, and we'll just see who's next. All right, let's see. Who is this? Gemini. All right, let's do it. So we're going to choose an oracle card just to get kind of an overall vibe. And then of course we have the tarot here to give us more information. So what is the overall vibe for Gemini? Resilience. Wow. Carrying a burden. This has, like, you know, a 10 of Wands vibe to it, really only because, you know, this figure is carrying a lot on their back. Burden, overwhelm, resilience. When I see that, you know, the Strength card comes to mind, about determination. And really, you know, it looks like they're at the top, at least, of this mountain. This could be things that they picked up along the way, because there's like tentacles coming out of that. Like these look like octopus, you know, tentacles. It looks like there's like some weeds in there, some plant life. We'll get some more information on that. Maybe even just feeling like having to make a lot of decisions. Where does it end? You know, when I think of resilience, it's like, you know, enduring something, you know, really pushing through a situation. We're looking for 6 6 tarot cards. A little hunched over, like their clothes even seem a little bit dirty. Like, I mean, it really just kind of feels like you've been through it. We have the 9 of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, okay. Financial independence, financial stability, maybe even looking for a financial type of opportunity. It could be a new job. We have the Death card in reverse. 6 of Swords, 6 of Wands. One more. Ooh, the Devil card. And then Temperance at the bottom of the deck. The Hanged Man has been coming out a lot. The Hermit, the Hierophant, geez. Whoops. Yeah, I mean, we'll go through, of course, every card here, just like, okay, let's just do that. So, you know, I mean, we talked about the Resilience card a little bit here, just, and it is playing out a bit in here also. You know, like I said, we start with the 9 of Pentacles here. Pentacles have to do with our money, how we get it, how we spend it, how we save it. It has to do with our time, again, how we spend it, how we save it, how we invest our time, resources, materials. It's like the 3D world also, so it could be your physical body. And generally, the 9 of Pentacles talks about financial independence. So, you know, it's like working to a place where you can support yourself and your lifestyle. The 9 of Pentacles doesn't generally include other people. I mean, of course, that can be the goal, right? You know, wanting to get to a place of financial independence so that you can support your family, your community. You know, family can be biological or chosen, your spouse. But interestingly enough, in this card, you know, it almost kind of looks like this figure is bored. They could even be taking a break. You know, like, is this squirrel bringing them something, or are they feeding the squirrel? It's almost even like, you know, I kind of get this, I get this feeling that it's almost like you have reached this point. Maybe you feel like you are in a financially stable position. Maybe, again, you know, it would have to do with it could have to do with your health. You could have an abundance of time. But it's almost like, you know, getting to this point where you reached your goal. Like, you got to a place where you wanted to get to, where you had stability. Like, you did that, right? Kudos to you. But now it's almost kind of like, okay, I'm here, so now what? Do I want more? Is this okay for the time being? Do I want to move on to something else? Like, have I learned everything that I can learn from this, or developed the skills? You know, it's almost like, is there anything else that I can get out of this? And that's not like in a bad way, but if there's still more that you feel like you have the potential to accomplish, that's kind of where that feeling is coming from. And also because we have the 6 of Swords here, swords having to do with our thoughts, you know, how we perceive our reality. I see them as being the card of ego also, because generally that's where we hear our ego, is in our minds. So, and with the 6 of Swords, it's moving beyond something. I mean, you could be physically moving locations here, you know, getting, you know, with this independence here, being able to move out of whatever situation that you're in right now. And usually, you know, the 6 of Swords, there's not much that they're bringing with them either. There's no baggage in here. Their eyes are closed. they have this one box here. There's a lot of like surrender and trust going on here. This guy is blind. Is he? Or I can't. Am I blind? No, his eyes are open. Okay. I thought they were like white, you know, like glazed over to where, you know, like he was blind. So no, that was my fault. It's almost like, you know, this guy, whoever this is, right? Because they're the ones that are manning this whole boat. So it's almost like they know how to navigate these waters. So this could be a mentor. It could be, you know, if you are physically moving, it could even just be having conversations with like a real estate agent, a financial advisor or planner even, because it's kind of like with the way that they are, you know, holding up this box, it's almost like I have this thing. What do I do with it? Now what? Right? And then we have this figure that's guiding this boat. So maybe, you know, there is somebody that you should be looking into to help you decide what the next steps are or what to even invest in. Because also with this resilience card, it's getting this feeling of like, you know, it's almost like you want to ensure your future. Like, you know, the sacrifices that you've made, the resilience literally that you've had to have to get to this point. It's like, you know, wanting to ensure that that is protected and even that it grows. There's nothing wrong with that. But if it is a new position or whatever, I guess, however it's going to fit for you, because again, with this Ace of Pentacles here, this is a new opportunity. It could be a gift coming in, something, you know, unexpected, but it's something new that is being offered to you. You know, aces are new beginnings. It could even just be a different way of doing things than you have done them in the past, because you have reached this level of success. And maybe that's a new level of success for you. You know, Pentacles also have to do with, you know, studying, education. I mentioned it over here, you know, like a skill level, because it's, you know, physically putting in the practice or the time into developing this skill or getting to this point here. So again, you know, I mean, this could be a new job. It could be some sort of financial offer. If it has to do with your health, then it would be new information regarding that, or, you know, turning a new leaf as far as improving your health. And then with the Six of Wands, the Six of Wands is success. That's victory. It's, you know, coming out of a battle as the victor. Like, you know, it's not necessarily the war that's been won, but it is definitely a battle that has been won. And we have these people that look up to this person. So, you know, and again, that's kind of why I get this like promotional kind of vibe here, overseeing. I mean, you may be taking on more responsibility. This might even, you know, this could potentially be, you know, some outside pressure to take on some responsibility or take on some additional responsibility. And it's almost like, you know, these people are looking to you to do that because like they believe you are capable of that. And again, you know, that could be what the offer is. This could even be some sort of like solution for that. Negotiation even kind of comes up here. Like, how can you negotiate your time? How can you almost like kind of make these things fit? But we have the Devil. We have the Devil, but we have the Death card in the reverse and the Devil card underneath it, which is really kind of an interesting combo. The Death card generally talks about the end of a cycle, something having to end in order for something new to begin. There's that saying that beginnings disguise themselves as endings. So it's not, obviously, you know, it's not like a physical death. It's like the way, it's a way of being, it's a behavior, it's a way of thinking. So I would say like these two combined it's almost like a warning to really be sure to check in on where your decisions are coming from in here. Is it people pleasing? Is it ego? Like, is it distraction? Because, with the death card being in reverse, I'll get it out eventually. It's like something is preventing the end of a cycle. It could even just be that this opportunity is coming up for you to choose differently than you have in the past. Because it's like, if you are using like the same formula that you've used to make your decisions in prior situations, it's like, let me really break down how that went for me. Did it get me where I wanted to be? And sure, it might have gotten you to this point of independence here, but it's kind of like at what cost? Because it's not like this figure in this card anyway, in this depiction, they don't necessarily look that happy, and they're still almost looking for a way out, or at least a way to move beyond this situation, and still looking for like other opportunities. But again, even wanting to, like make everybody involved in the situation happy, which is just kind of keeping you in the same cycle of, again, like this people pleasing thing, which is the Devil card. And the Devil card talks about the chains that bind us. It's like, what are we allowing to control our behavior or control our decisions? It can, of course, be like literal addiction. And of course, that's on a spectrum. Also, it can be anything from distraction, numbing, smoking cigarettes, shopping, spending money, comfort food, all the way up to like substance abuse, alcohol, self-harm. And that's basically, what's depicted here on this card. This figure is eating like a turkey leg. It looks like this figure is drinking out of something, and they're both tied to, like, there's a chain here, there's a chain there. Looks like it has some flowers coming off of it that are attached to this devil's like platform here. So, this is like an opportunity here to really like look into yourself and like what intuitively, or even if it's not the most practical thing, even if it's not climbing the proverbial ladder, even if it's not on face value or with appearances, schmoozing with the right people, or whatever the case may be, there's this opportunity to choose differently. And we have the Temperance card here. And Temperance generally talks about kind of energies like mixing and mingling. There's some patience involved in this because, there's a process to, I always like use the example of tempering chocolate because, there are certain steps that you have to do at certain times in order to temper chocolate correctly, right? And if you miss any of those steps, you basically have to start over because it's ruined. So that's where, the patience comes in with Temperance. And, and I still get this feeling that, there is this opportunity to even change this formula a little bit. And really, it's your decision. Nobody else can make this decision for you. Even if, of course, like you can talk to people and get advice, and even just hearing things out loud, like, you have all these thoughts in your mind. And, once you say them out loud, it's like, oh, that's how that sounds. Like, that doesn't actually feel good, or it does feel good. And I'm going to expand on that, right? Like, so not necessarily for other people to tell you what to do, but advice doesn't hurt. You don't actually have to do exactly what the person is saying, but it's almost like, oh, you know what? I didn't even think that possibility existed, but I'm going to sit on that and I'm just going to kind of see how it feels. We have the Hanged Man. Again, even just another card that talks about suspension or delay, even patience, because the Hanged Man is, the purpose of the Hanged Man is to see something in a different perspective. And it will keep you in this place of suspension until you're able to do so. But also, if you can see, and I'm not sure if it's legible here, but there's all of these rune symbols around here. So it's almost like you're protected while you're in this cocoon. And if you feel like, things have been stagnant or not moving forward, maybe look at the areas where you're making the same decisions that you have in the past, and maybe see if there's an opportunity to choose differently. And if you don't know what that is yet, and if it's available to you to not make a decision yet, don't do anything until you get clarity. We have the Hermit behind here, which is about introspection. The Lone Wolf, this could even just be going against the grain, which can be kind of scary, like if there are other people involved and, everybody usually just kind of like goes along with the current. And if you start walking against the current, people are going to be like, what the hell is she doing? What are they doing? But this is very lone wolfy. Like I said, it's kind of like choosing your own path, however that looks like. And also, almost kind of like allowing that path to open up as you walk, which can be scary. We have the Hierophant behind there, which talks about tradition, institutions. That could even be why this Hermit card is coming up, because again, it's like going against the grain. We can even see the similarities a little bit here between these two people, almost kind of like giving up their power to this one person that's sitting on the throne here. This is also like traditional teaching. So it could be school. It could even just be, like your 9-to-5 jobs. It could be religion. It could be marriage. All of those things that are kind of like wrapped in tradition. And if you are, kind of in this place where you're trying to decide if that is even something that aligns with you anymore, or right now even, it's, it's always something that is constantly evolving. I could look one way today, another way tomorrow. But this is definitely something that, you've been putting a lot of energy and effort into with this resilience card, like really having to carry a lot. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for being here, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.